Hey, Steven. Okay, so let me make sure this is recording. It is. So, sorry this is taking me a little bit to get to you, but I want to show you some moves that you can use with this lovely band I gave you to start kind of building those legs and that booty and to just have some fun. So, let me get started. I'm working with what I got here as far as space goes. So, first things first, I would recommend going through some of the moves I'm going to show you without the band, okay? Number one, to warm up. Number two, we just want to kind of let those legs know what's going to happen so we don't overdo it or stress ourselves out too much as far as the muscles go, and work our way into it. So I would always recommend a warm up, okay? You could go on a walk. You could go through a little circuit that I'm going to show you some moves of. You could dance, whatever you want to do. Just get your body going so that your heart and your muscles are kind of all on the same page. That's the most important part of a warm-up. So some really easy warm-up moves, okay? Just start nice and easy, bringing those heels to the booty, just kind of getting that heart rate up, getting those legs going. You could do this in your front room. You could do this in wherever you want, go to a park, okay? So warm-up should be about 3 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, okay? So I'd recommend going through some of this, okay? And then nice and easy squats, okay? So when we're squatting, you always want to think about keeping your weight in the heels of your feet. That is the most important part. A lot of people seem to lean over or they kind of waver. We want to keep the knees stable. We want to keep them basically right over the ankles, and we want to think about keeping the weight in the heels. So when we're dropping it down, notice how my knees are behind my toes. They're not forwards. I'm not kind of shaking my legs. You really want to focus on driving up with the weight in the heels and pushing those hips all the way through at the top. A lot of people tend to stop here. You really want to stand up tall, get that full range of motion, okay? So I would go through a couple of these, just get the legs warmed up. The lower you can get, the better. But again, work your way into it, okay? And go through a couple of those. I would do some easy jack tap outs. So it's like a jumping jack, but it's just kind of, again, getting that heart rate up. Go through some of these. Nice and easy, 10 to 12, maybe 15 of these. All right, and then some knee pulls, just easy, bringing those knees into the chest. So we're just kind of warming up the hips, getting everything nice and ready. And then when you're feeling good, I would again add some lunges. And for a lunge, okay, again, all about form. So I'm trying to stay so you can see my feet here. So when you lunge, you want to think about, a lot of people tend to over lunge or they're in too small, whatever it is. So you can even start with your hand on the wall for balance, whatever you're feeling good about. You're going to drop it down. So notice how my front knee is right over my heel. It's not coming out over my toe. So you want to keep it over the heel and your back knee is bent 90 degrees. Okay? You come up and you come down. Okay? The lower you can get in that lunge with that back leg, okay, the better. Don't stop here. Really drop it down. Again, but work your way into it. I would recommend dropping it down, bringing that leg back in, and then doing it again, same leg. I go about 5 each leg. Drop it down, keep the front heel down. You always want to drive with your heel. So drive up with the heel of the front foot. Alternate legs, go through some of those, okay? So there's a little warm up for you. And then when you're feeling good, you can feel the difference. Your legs are warmed up, you're ready. I would grab this guy. Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple different moves. All right, so very simple one. We're going to go first over the knees, okay, like so, okay, just about, I don't know, 2 or 3 inches over the knee. Okay, so what you want to do, let me move this chair, awkward chair. Okay, so you're going to have your feet about hip width apart, maybe a little bit wider, okay, and what you want to do when you're going through these squats is think about pushing the band open. Okay, so obviously it's going to add resistance. The easy thing to do is just do nothing, not fight against it. Slow and controlled. So I like to say push out and then squat. Okay, and you want to focus on resisting the whole time, throwing it right back up. So really focus on dropping it down, opening with the band, bring it right back up. Notice my toes are turned out just slightly. That's totally fine. Okay, so again, resist the band. Drop it down, drop it up. Remember, you want to push those hips through at the top, keep the weight in the heels, resist the band, okay? So I would start about 8 of these, okay? Resist the band, nice and low, okay? Take a break if you need it. Then all you're gonna do, similar idea. So you're gonna drop into that squat, resisting the band, and you're gonna walk. Go 4 or 5 to the right, okay? 4 or 5 to the left. Again, the goal is not to break the band, okay? So don't think you gotta like really open those legs. You wanna keep the tension and the resistance the whole time. When you're doing it right, you'll know, okay? So you wanna stay low, open, and we're not bringing those legs all the way together when we're stepping in. That tension is always there. And we're driving open with the knee. So I see a lot of people doing this, okay? Don't do that. Open the knees, walk it out, okay? So I would go about 3 rounds of that. So 5 to the right, 5 to the left. Again, 5 to the right, 5 to the left. Work your way into it, okay? So you got the squats, you got the band walkouts, okay? Another really good one while the band is where it's at, this I recommend having something to balance on, especially to start. So what you're gonna do, this takes a little bit of practice to activate the glutes, especially if you haven't really targeted them in a while. Okay, so what you're gonna do, you're gonna bring one leg up, okay, so the knee is slightly bent. Notice how I'm facing forward, okay, but my right knee is slightly behind my left. It's not in line with it. Okay, so I'm bringing it back, and then all you're gonna do is lift and lower. So we call them fire hydrants, like a dog peeing on a fire hydrant, okay? So maybe that makes more sense to you. All you're gonna do is lift and lower. Key thing here is to keep that knee slightly behind the other one, and that knee, or that foot that's on the ground, slight bend in the knee. We never wanna lock our knees out. So you're gonna lift, hold it for 2 seconds, and lower. Okay, so from the side, the other leg, lift and lower. Lift and lower. So you'll feel it immediately when you're doing it. Lift and lower, okay? Really great one. Again, I'd go through 5 to 8 of those to start. And then while you're at it, while the band's up here, all you're gonna do is straight leg kick back. So slight bend in the knee that's on the ground, flex the foot that you're working, and you're just gonna lift and lower. Squeeze the booty, drop it down. Squeeze the booty, drop it down. Don't rush through these. These are slow and controlled. This isn't about flying through it. It's about making the muscles burn, okay? So lift and lower, again, same thing. Kick it back, squeeze, and down. So straight back and down. If you're feeling fancy, you could even go at a slight 45-degree angle. Same idea. You'll notice when you start to do these, even slight variations in direction are going to target different parts of the glute. So explore that, have fun with it. Make sure you're burning and you're focusing on what you're doing. So there's some really good ones with the band above your knee. You could even add, if you want to get a little cardio, little jump squats, keep those knees open. Okay, so we're going to drop the band now down over, let me scoot back, the top of the feet, or I should say the arch. So the band is over the arch of my feet, in between my toes and my ankle, of course. So these are really great for that lateral, that outside part of the leg. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna start about feet hip width apart, so you wanna feel the tension, okay? You don't wanna break it, but you wanna feel the tension. Slight bend in the knee. I'll show you from the side. Slight bend in the knee. You're gonna lean over just slightly with the chest, just slightly, core strong, shoulders back. We never wanna slouch, okay? And all you're gonna do is walk it to the right, okay? I'd say go 5 to 8, okay? Key thing here, toes facing forward. Your toes are gonna wanna turn out. Don't let them. Make sure they're facing in, okay? So 5 to 8, each side. Again, you're gonna feel this to the side of those legs, the booty, okay? 5 to 8 each side. Keep going through that. And then I also love to keep them about hip width apart. Okay, so this is a squat variation. It's a little more narrow squat. You're gonna squat just like you would before. You're gonna keep your feet about hip width apart so they're more in than before. You don't have to come super low in these, but fight that band. Again, you don't want your toes turning out. Keep the weight in the heels, knees over the ankles, and bring it back up. Slow and controlled, okay? Those are some really great ones. Another one for the quad, simple. You're just gonna bring it up and down. Up, hold it, and down. Again, don't rush through it. Up and down. You should feel that quad burning, squeeze. Flex the foot, obviously, so the band stays on, and lower. Lift and lower. Work your way into it, okay? And then some other great ones, okay? So band between the calves. All you wanna do is to the side. Flex the foot, lift and lower, lift and lower. Other side, 5 to 8 each side. So again, this time the band or my leg is staying in line with the other leg for the most part. All right, and then nice and easy, you could add those tap outs if you want. Pointing the toe this time, taking your time, focusing on the legs. Of course, I love the jump squats with the band. You could bring it in a little bit, pop it out, bring it in, pop it out. Key thing is to sink into that squat. Keep the weight in the heels, really work the booty. And then, okay, so I want to show you without the band, a couple really good hamstring moves, and then we'll wrap it up because I know I'm giving you a lot here. You can do these without weights, totally fine, but it's important that we target all parts of the leg, okay? So for the back, the hamstrings, you could start with a bench or a chair for balance. In fact, I encourage you to, so that you get the most out of the motion. When you feel confident and more strong, you could do it without a balance, okay? But we're gonna do, it's called an RDL, okay? So all you wanna do, say my left foot's on the ground, okay? I'm just gonna bring it down and then bring it, ooh, it's hard to do slow, and then bring it right back up, okay? So notice how my knee is slightly bent, coming all the way back up. The goal is not to touch the ground, okay? You don't have to touch the ground in order to do these right. What you should feel is that pull in the back of the hamstring, okay? And bring it all the way back up. Again, so you can switch sides. I like to march it out, bring it back up, switch sides. Key thing is get that back leg up, okay? Again, this is balance, this is hamstring, so you're gonna feel it when you do it right. But I recommend adding some of those just to get that hamstring in there. And then good old fashioned last one, glute bridges. So I'm sure you've seen these before. Really, really good for the back. And let's see if you can see, I think you can see from here. If you, sorry, I'm like as far as I can be from the camera. So band over the knees, okay, just like so. And again, all you're gonna do is lay on your back, so your feet, your heels are just slightly in front of your knees, okay? You're gonna, first things first, resist the band. So open the knees to where you feel that tension. And then all you're gonna do is lift, keeping the tension the whole time. Hold it at the top, squeeze the booty, keep the tension all the way back down, relax. And then do it again. Open, so there's tension. Lift, 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 squeeze. Drop it back down, keeping the tension, relax, okay? So those are really, really good. You wanna make sure when you bring those hips up, they're as high as the shoulders, okay? So don't stop here, really drive up. I like to even come off my toes so the weight is all in my heels. Squeeze. Take your time, slow and controlled. Again, I go like 8 of those, 5 to 8. You could do these without the band to start. But yeah, there's some moves for you. You could, you know, follow along with this video and pause it once I explain everything and then go through it one by one. You could kind of just, you know, do what feels best, but have fun with it. And I promise you'll see results. I recommend working with this band. When you start out, don't do it every day because you're gonna overdo it, your muscles. I would say to start, like your first week doing these, every 2 days, every other day if you're feeling good. If you find that you're feeling really good after the first week, increase the reps. So maybe go for 10 of everything. And I would add, if you have a dumbbell or a weight of any kind, you can add that component. So you're holding it while you're squatting, you're holding it while you're doing the walkouts, whatever it is, you're holding it while you're doing those balanced RDLs. But work your way into it, do what feels good, and I promise you're gonna feel a difference. I would set a timer for 15 minutes and get as many rounds of those moves I just showed you in, doing as many reps that feel good to you, and then just go from there. And remember, always focus on engaging the glutes, keeping the core strong, and making the most of every motion. Don't just rush through it, okay? I hope this helps you, and you should take some progress photos, not for me, but for you and Des. Like, get in your whitey-tidies or whatever it is, take some photos, and then in a month from now, take some more. I don't know, just a thought. That's none of my business. But anyway, hope this helps you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.